I would just say that Billy Donovan painted a little bit more pessimistic picture. Lonzo is certainly of the mindset of he's trying to get back this season. Obviously, he's tired of not playing basketball. They can't even get a gauge, on his timetable or things like that. So
I don't think this is an update that Chicago Bulls fans are going to want to hear, but regardless, it's still something that I'm keeping my finger on throughout the season. And I figured I owed you guys an update because Billy Donovan gave us an update on Lonzo Ball's situation. So, of course, before we get to the content, make sure you drop, like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. Could you imagine if you purchased your delusional Laker fan family member one of these bad boys, a real gold Los Angeles Lakers pendant with a white gold necklace that won't cost you an arm and a leg? That's only possible in one place and one place only, the GLD shop. GLD was founded upon the idea that everyone should be able to afford high quality jewelry without overpaying for it. It's made with real gold that's built to last. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is real gold, son. And this is real white gold. Their manufacturing process and attention to detail is the best in the game, and it's the perfect time to purchase from their website right in time for the holiday season. To complete your look and get 33% off of holiday gifts, click in the link in the description box right now. Make sure to order by December 21st to ensure that your jewelry arrives right in time for the holiday season. And you can support my channel by adding the code in the GLD post-purchase survey. And thank you, GLD, for the sponsorship. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Lonzo Ball has had one of the most unique careers that I think I've ever seen. I mean, of course, he had this tremendous hype surrounding him during the 2017 NBA draft prior to him being drafted. And I will be honest, despite him not living up to that near LeBron James-esque hype, which if you go back to those years and you remember what was going on for Lonzo Ball, from him having his own signature shoe from his own brand, which didn't work out, to him having his own reality TV show on Facebook, which, don't get me wrong, I still think was fantastic that he was able to achieve that, all the way to him being drafted by the Lakers. And of course, the Lakers were rebuilding at the time, but inevitably he became a part of a trade package that would net the Lakers Anthony Davis. I still have a lot of respect for him. I mean, I've came on this channel multiple times
Shut up!
and told you the number one biggest work ethic based skill in the NBA is your jump shot. The fact that Lonzo Ball came into the NBA with one of the ugliest jump shots we have ever seen. I mean, bear in mind, NBA 2K made a huge deal out of the fact that they were able to get his jump shot in NBA 2K18 the way it's supposed to look, and being able to completely alter that jump shot and remake it from the ground up, which is so difficult to do, and boosting your 3-point percentage, making one of your biggest weaknesses your biggest strength, is always something I will respect. I mean, from his rookie season, this man shot 31% from 3, which, to give you an idea, is pretty much what Russell Westbrook shoots in a good season. If he's hitting 31% of his threes, it's a good season for him. And in just his 4th season in the NBA, he was able to get that to 38%, and his most recent season, his debut season with the Chicago Bulls, he was able to get that number to 42% while attempting 7 3-pointers per game. So don't get me wrong, not necessarily the next coming of LeBron James, not necessarily throwing these crazy no-look passes and revolutionizing the game of basketball like he was hyped up to be, but without a doubt, a great basketball player, a man that should definitely start on a championship team, a man that I believe at the very minimum should get like a couple of all-star selections throughout his career, hopefully, and a man that I'm shocked didn't win most improved player at least once in his career. The Chicago Bulls immediately believed in his potential, and I could see why. I mean, you could tell this man lives, breathes, eats, sleeps basketball, and it means so much to him. I mean, we usually make the Ben Simmons comparison here all the time, man. Lonzo Ball was able to do what Ben Simmons didn't even bother to do, and as a result, his career has been on an upward trajectory. That aside, the Chicago Bulls decided to sign him when he became a free agent. Well, it was a sign and trade if we're being 100% factual here. And during his first 35 games, Lonzo was amazing. 42% from 3, 13 points per game, 5 assists per game. He had the highest box plus minus of his career with a 2.5. 5. He was positive on both offense and defense with positive box plus minuses for both. He had a 1.4 VORP and the second highest PER of his entire career. Unfortunately, that's when the injury issues started to come up. And originally we thought this wasn't going to be a big deal. We thought he was going to be out for a couple of weeks. A couple weeks turns out to be, hey, he'll come back for the playoffs. The playoffs turns out to be he's done for the year, but he'll be back for the start of next season. Throughout the summer, we were constantly getting updates on Lonzo Ball, and it just kept getting pushed back more and more. Now, I don't want to question the legitimacy of his injury. As a matter of fact, if there's one thing I'm really appreciating about NBA players, I know it could be a little frustrating for fans, but I appreciate them understanding how much an 82 game season puts wear and tear on the body. It should give you some appreciation for what LeBron was able to do for 20 years, and still playing at a high level is remarkable. But at the same time, not everyone's body is built like LeBron James. Not everyone invests $1 million into upkeeping their body like LeBron James. You have players taking different approaches to make sure they preserve their career longevity. Whether that's hyper load management from Kawhi Leonard, or investing millions of dollars in your body like LeBron, or if we're going to talk about the NFL, doing pliability exercises for Tom Brady. And as a result, I do respect players when they say that they're dealing with an injury and they need more time than they thought, and not letting the pressure get to him. And it seems like, unfortunately, Lonzo Ball, his knee rehab is going slower than we thought. Billy Donovan was asked whether or not Lonzo Ball was even close to being cleared for contact, saying that it's been really slow, I'm just being honest. He also noted that Ball is not even close to being cleared for contact or on-court work, which is a harrowing development. He's working through more and more, but it's not like I can give you any report. Hey, he's running, he's cutting, he's jumping, he's doing individual skill work, and the next step is we've got to get him some contact. To be honest with you, we're not even close to that. Him working through the pain he was experiencing before, there's been improvement in that area, but they are also trying to continue to build up his strength because of the lack of time he's had, so to speak, training. They're constantly, like, all hands on deck. Everyone is evaluating. There's a lot of people that are involved in trying to help him. Those people range from Bulls medical staff to outside specialists in Los Angeles, where Ball had both of his recent surgeries done. To hear Donovan tell it, all parties are involved in communication daily. One takeaway from those conversations is that Ball is still experiencing pain. He's better after the surgery, I will say that, but is he completely pain-free? No, and that's what we're working towards. Or at least if he does have some pain, he's able to play through some of it and work through some of it. All these guys are dealing with pain as the season goes on in some form of it, but for him, it's the pain that has prevented him from getting back to playing. Of course, Donovan then gets asked if he has any idea of a return date, and Donovan replied saying, I haven't been part in any discussions like that at all. It's been more about how to get him back on the floor where he's playing. I feel bad for him because I feel like he's worked hard to try and get back. He's a young guy, he's a really good player, and you hate to see a guy, I guess it's another month or so, right? That's coming up on a year since he last played. I hurt for him because he's a great guy, he loves playing, and when something like that is taken away from a guy, you feel bad for him. The article ends with saying, and so the waiting game continues. It's been almost a year since Lonzo Ball has been able to play. Now, I found a very interesting article from Sammy Hassan, even claiming that maybe Lonzo Ball has Derrick Rose syndrome. So Chicago Bulls fans are familiar with this story. The article says, I worry about the Derrick Rose syndrome. For those who recall, the season after Derrick Rose was injured in the 2012 NBA playoffs, the media and fans became obsessed with Rose's return to the point where he was blamed for not returning. And before long, the media and the community turned on him with the belief that he didn't want to play, which was as erroneous as could be because no one in basketball ever returned from his injury in less than a year. Now, especially players take a year for lesser injuries, but because Derrick never said much, the media speculation went into overdrive and carried the public along with it. And to be honest, I could see this happening to Lonzo Ball, primarily because he's similar to Derrick Rose in the way he approaches the media. He's relatively quiet, relatively soft-spoken, and despite his family having a lot of attention on themselves over the past 5 years, out of all the brothers, I'd say Lonzo is the one that didn't want to be in the spotlight. You know, he just wanted to be straight up about basketball. I hope that they don't make the same mistake with Lonzo here. It's definitely been very frustrating, and there's no doubt in my mind, just based upon the limited exposure that we've had to Lonzo Ball in his very short basketball career so far. This is a man that loves basketball. He wants to be out there probably more than we want him to be out there. At this point, I'm just preaching empathy. Clearly, this is not a situation he wants to be in, especially when you saw how good the Chicago Bulls were last year with him on the roster. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about Lonzo Lonzo Ball's situation? Do you think he is close to making a return? Do you think that the injury could be something worse than we initially thought it could be? At this point, he's been out for a way longer time than a player would be for an ACL repair. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.